Whoops. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Basically, I want to do a 24-hour readathon and I'm quite excited about it because it has not been a secret that these last few weeks and or months have not really been my best reading months. I have been slumping a lot with my reading. So far in September, I have only read 2 books and it's currently the 23rd. So approximately is 1 week left of the month. I don't feel bad about the fact that I'm not reading 10 books. That's not it. But it's just that I miss reading. And I feel like I'm slowly but surely getting back into the mood of just like reading and hanging out on Goodreads and looking at BookTube and making videos and stuff. So I do feel like I'm getting into things again. But in order to give myself a push and to make sure that I read at least another book in September, I have decided to do a 24-hour readathon. And the plan is for me to start tomorrow after work. I will start counting the 24 hours once I leave work and get on the tube because I always read when I'm on the subway. So why not include that time in my readathon? So the readathon will be going on from Friday around 5 p.m. Central Eastern Standard Time until Saturday 5 p.m. And I welcome you all to join me. Not that you can join me afterwards because you will see this once I've done it already. But I think I will make a tweet about it and see if anyone else will be doing a readathon. I might also do some reading sprints tomorrow evening. I have no Friday night plans for once. I'm super excited about just being lazy. So I might actually host some reading sprints on my channel. We're gonna have to see. I think this will be fun and great and exciting. So what are my plans regarding the reading then? Well, I know one thing at least, then we're gonna have to see. But my main goal, my one goal for the readathon is to finish reading Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have started this one. I'm on page 110, which is almost about 30% through it, I think, like 27 or something according to Goodreads. And I do think that I will be further in the book once my actual readathon starts, because I will read it in the morning and might read it before bed. But let's approximate that I will have about 50 or 60% left of the book once I start the readathon tomorrow. So the goal will definitely be to finish reading this one. I'm feeling quite confident that I will be able to do it. I'm enjoying this one so much. It's just something about this author's books. They are so freaking entertaining and captivating, and I just love getting immersed in this world of celebrities and fame and like scandal, and I think it's so much fun. I'm definitely enjoying this one. As I said, I'm feeling quite confident that I will finish that one. I'm not that certain on what I will read next. I do have, as you can see, a bunch of options for things to pick up. I might try and finish another book I'm currently reading, possibly The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. I'm like 25% through that one, or possibly Know My Name by Chanel Miller. I'm like 50% through this one, so I have like half of it left as well. Use of Nightmares, I'm like 30% through this one. Or I might go for some other books. For example, The Midnight Library or Beach Read. This one is quite short, so I do think I could finish it. Beach Read is also like, it's longer, but it's like a rom-com, so, and I feel like I can go through those quite quickly. If we're considering shorter books as well, I have The Martian, If I Had Your Face, and Bunny. Honestly, either one of these 3 would be great options. Let's see how long they are. Bunny is over 300 pages long. It's around 360, 370. If I Had Your Face is less than 300 pages long. It's about 280. So this one could be a good option. We have The Martian, and I believe this is sort of a bit of a mixed media because we have like logs and stuff like that. And this one is about 370 pages as well. Another option, if I'm just in the mood for fantasy, could possibly be The Assassin's Apprentice. From what I understand, it is a fast-paced and quick and fun fantasy. For being an adult fantasy, this first book is quite short. It's less than 400 pages. A 24-hour readathon. Hopefully I'll finish at least 1 book, possibly 2, but I'm truly gonna do my best and truly dedicate myself to reading as best as I can. And I'm so excited because it has been a while. I think it will be a good time. You're welcome to join me, and I hope you enjoy, I guess. I'll see you tomorrow once the readathon starts. I'm home now and the readathon has officially started. For me, it started while I was on the tube on my way home. So of course, while I was on the subway, I continued reading Malibu Rising. I'm gonna try and count the pages that I read during this readathon, and I started this one on page 135 and I'm currently on 160. I'm getting closer to being halfway through, I think, and I'm enjoying this one so much. I feel like I'm really immersed in the story, like I am involved, I am there with the characters. Is it something new and revolutionary? No, it's not. And also, the writing isn't really striking in the way that there's not, at the moment, I feel like, those quotes that make you just like lose your breath and take a pause and just stare at the words for a minute. It's just a nice flow to the story and I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying the plot so much and I'm enjoying the characters. I think this is great. My plan for now is that I will continue to read for a while. I will have some cookies I bought yesterday because I went grocery shopping when I was hungry, so of course I bought all the pastries I saw. Yeah, I'm not sure for how long I will try and read. Oh wait, I'm hosting reading sprints at 7. I need to remember that. So I'm gonna read a bit now, I'm gonna eat, snack, perhaps do something else, perhaps prep dinner or something. Let's get to reading, I'm talking too much. Hi! I think I'm live. Hold up, I'm just gonna post to Twitter really quickly. I already prepped the tweet. Thanks for joining this quite spontaneous and not really prepared reading sprint session. But we're just gonna have a good time, okay? Get yourself a snack, get yourself something to drink, eat if you haven't had dinner, breakfast, lunch, whatever. I personally have a cup of coffee and I bought this like, it looks bad on camera, but it's like cinnamon bun, mud cake, fusion thing. So I'm snacking. What I also want to try is to do some randomized reading sprints. It's currently 20 past 11. I just finished my sprints, but that's not the only thing I finished because I also finished Malibu Rising. I had a really good time reading this one. I enjoyed it a lot. I found that the story was really entertaining, the characters were really likable, and I just enjoyed the plot and like I enjoyed being in this world of the famous, rich and beautiful. It's just super entertaining. It's not unique in any way, shape or form. We know this story, we know these characters, we have seen it multiple times across multiple different medias. It's not something new, it's not something revolutionary. We have the messed up rock star father, we have the naive mother, we have the kids struggling. All of the cliches are in this book, but it was so entertaining and it was a good time and I'm so happy I read it. Talked about in my live show how I thought that sometimes the writing actually reminded me of the writing of Fredrik Backman. And as you probably know by now, Fredrik Backman became my favorite author this year. I had not read anything by him before, and now he is my favorite author, and I read 3 of his books, and they are all like my favorite books. I like to describe his writing as very effective. Like he can relay a lot of emotion and a lot of just like plot and meaning, which such few words, like within a sentence or a paragraph, he can relay so much of importance to the story and everything feels relevant and it does not feel rushed. His words, they have such an impact, even if like it's the shortest and quickest words ever basically. The writing in this one sort of reminded me of that. I did not feel that way with Taylor Jenkins Reid's other books. They are different. This one I felt was written a bit more in that way, that the sentences are shorter, the chapters are shorter, and the story is being told from many different point of views. And that sort of reminded me of Backman's writing. Backman's writing definitely has a greater impact than this one. I did not really feel that like hit to the chest when reading this one in the same way that I feel when I read Fredrik Backman. I think it's just like, obviously there's still gonna be a difference, but like that's just my comparison. So it is a fast-paced book and there's also this big cast that we're following. The story is being told from many different views. Sometimes we get this chapter from a random character that really has no connection to the main plot at all. It's there and it provides another perspective and another voice to the story, which I did appreciate. Like, I don't mind it, but it's just not like that relevant, I guess. Another thing I wanted to mention about this one, it takes place during the 80s. But other than the fact that it says that it's taking place during the 80s, like this party is during the 80s, you can tell that it takes place during the 80s. Like, in my mind, I was imagining like today. It does perhaps matter for like the backstories of the parents and such, like how they met and their lifestyles during the 40s, 50s, 60s. The siblings and their lives and the party was not really that greatly affected by it being the 80s. I think the main thing would be the setting. I don't know much about Malibu and how that area has developed during the last 40 years. The only times I was reminded of it were sometimes when they mentioned someone's outfit. But I feel like the outfits were fairly modern as well. It was one time someone teased her hair and wore like shoulder puffs. But other than that, I really couldn't tell. I feel like it's just more in order to market this one as historical fiction. I personally would not consider it to be historical fiction. I actually categorized it in my reading log as just general fiction. I finished this book either way. I'm happy about it, and I finished the sprints. I had the best time during the sprints. So many people showed up. I was so surprised by that, and it meant the world. So thank you to everyone that joined and like chatted with me and such. I had such an amazing time. I'm honestly so surprised. I did not expect this. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I am debating what book I should read next, and I have narrowed it down to 4 options. I started out by doing 3 polls on Twitter today. I haven't really cared about the results from them, to be honest. And then I tried to ask everyone who watched the live. And I have now narrowed it down to 4 different books. We have If I Had Your Face, Bunny by Mona Awad, The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, or The Martian by Andy Weir. These are the 4 books I'm considering. They are all fairly short. They're basically the books from my shelves that are on the shorter side. So I've been contemplating like, how do I pick which book I want to read? I have no clue, but I had an idea. Since I'm doing this readathon and like trying to vlog it and stuff, I could do this like, I think it's a challenge or a thing. I will try and read 1 chapter from each book and then decide which book to go for next. Actually now though, I won't read. What I will do now is I'll do some packing for my move, because I have not done that and I feel like I could benefit from doing some more cleaning and like tidying up and going through my stuff. I think I will actually put on an audiobook. And the audiobook I think I will put on is Dearly by Margaret Atwood. This also won the Goodreads Choice Awards for Poetry. And since I'm doing my challenge of reading all of the Goodreads winners, why not take this opportunity to listen to this poetry collection? And also it's just 1 hour long or something like that. So I think it's perfect for like a cleaning sprint or something. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna listen to Dearly and in that way get another book read. Then I'm gonna do this 1 chapter thing challenge.
Gathered by the sea, sand people anxiously. Not once did speak to me when tides came, did not.
Okay, I'm back and I tried to set the mood with my sunset lamp, but I'm not sure if it's like aesthetic or if I just look orange. I'm gonna go with it. I think it will be cozy when I read. I'm gonna read the first chapter basically from all of these 4 books, and then I'm gonna decide which one I will continue with. What did I do after my latest update? Well, I did some cleaning, went through my drawers and stuff and like prepping for the move. I'm feeling quite overwhelmed about that, to be honest, because like I'm still gonna live here too. It's not like I'm leaving this place, so I can leave things out. And also like there's 2 weeks until I move. So I'm still gonna use things. I don't know, it feels so weird. So I'm quite overwhelmed and I don't feel like I'm packing as much as I should. But then again, like there's no need for me to pack up my entire life at like, I don't know. But while I was packing or cleaning or whatever I was doing, I was listening to Dearly. I'm glad I listened to that book because it's been on my TBR, because it's a part of my challenge. It was like almost 2 hours long, but I I listen to it at like 1.5 speed or something. But the thing is, I feel like when it comes to poetry, I should just read it physically, no matter what, because I didn't really get that immersed in it. I don't remember anything. Might be because I was multitasking and focusing on other things. Another book, at least. Let's stop rambling and let's get to reading.
They each spoke the same, had the same dreams, same pain and same feelings, staring at the sea and what was left of me.
Just read the first chapter of Bunny, not sure what to feel. I like it, but I think it will be too much for my brain at the moment. Next one, Midnight Library apparently. Let's go.
Lay me down by the beach with my sand people. Lay me down by the beach with my sand people.
Okay, so like the first chapter here is only literally 2 pages. I actually do kind of enjoy the writing more than I thought I would. Possibly, actually. And it's one of the shorter books, so that's positive. I'm intrigued from those first 2 pages. I will have to admit that. Next up is The Martian.
A few moments later.
So I read like 2 pages of this one. I'm either getting tired. I think I'm getting tired. I don't think this will be it. I am excited about it. I did enjoy the writing because the character is funny. I actually want to grasp my mind about the scientific stuff. I can do it at the moment. It's not something I will try and do within like 12 hours or something. So not today, The Martian. Next up, let's go with this one. I'm fairly certain now I know what I'm gonna go for, but I'm gonna do this properly. Okay, we'll see. I'll give it a couple of pages.
Yes, after a while they all found out. They tried to shout, but when in doubt, the facade of the sea staring back at me.
I am enjoying this one actually. I think I'm gonna go for this one actually. I feel like I got into it. I'm so tired. Good morning, team. So it's almost 10, which means that it's almost just 7 hours left of the readathon. I've slept for like 7 hours, which was so nice. I kept waking up because I thought I was gonna be late for work. Then I always remembered like, oh, but it's Saturday. I'm not going to work today. I started If I Had Your Face yesterday, but I've only read like 18 pages. And I have 7 hours left of the readathon. So we're gonna have to see if I can make it. I won't start reading this very moment because I'm gonna have breakfast and I'm gonna watch an episode of Sex and the City. But after that, I'm gonna try and get some freaking reading done. It would be amazing if I could finish another book during this readathon. Breakfast, Sex and the City, and then some reading. I've had breakfast. I watched 2 episodes of Sex and the City. It's currently 11:20, so not that much time of this readathon, and I'm getting a bit stressed out. 260 pages to go. If I read 1 page a minute, that's kind of my pace. Like, I'm a bit quicker than that. Let's say 1 page a minute. For me, that would be 4 hours, 4.5 hours of reading. I mean, I'm gonna start reading this one. The aim for now will be to try and read for 1 hour. I usually don't time myself that way, but I feel like this is the time to give it a go. I'll also see otherwise if someone is doing sprints currently. I'm gonna really try and do my best here. And we'll see how many pages I can get ready in total during this readathon.
How far away I am from heaven. Beginning to feel a little bit like autumn. This time next year, I'll touch the trees in Boston.
So it's actually been an hour of me reading. I've basically read for 1 hour straight. I started out on page 18. I had read 17 pages and I'm currently on page 86. So that means almost 70 pages. Is that it? Really? That's good then. Okay, 69 pages apparently. That is great. I've almost read 70 pages within that hour. I'm about 30% into the book. What are my thoughts? I honestly don't know. I am enjoying the writing. I feel like I'm a bit tired, so I'm not really reflecting that much on what I'm reading. There is a flow to the story. I'm just not sure what the story is about. We're following 4 different girls. There are some women that work at a room saloon or like this underground bar where they entertain businessmen. We also have a woman who works as a hairstylist. She don't really talk. I'm not sure why. So she, instead of talking, she writes what she wants to say on a notepad. We have an artist who's, I think, is dating one of like the biggest chaebols in Korea or something. And then there's another woman who is a newlywed. So far in the book, I basically had 1 round with each character, like each chapter belongs to a character. I've met all the characters once. I'm conflicted. There's a lot of emphasis on beauty standards, comparing yourself to other women. There's a lot of talk about plastic surgery, also like social standards and levels, I guess. Obviously a lot of commentary on society in general, especially society in Seoul and South Korean beauty standards and similar. I'm not disliking this one. I am enjoying it. As I said, I think I'm too tired to be able to reflect on it entirely, but I am definitely enjoying it. I do like the writing, but I just can't tell you what it's about. Now I'm gonna make myself a cup of coffee because I'm freaking tired. I'm gonna try and edit my video that's going up tomorrow, just a bit, and then I need to get back into reading. If I read basically almost 70 pages in 1 hour, let's go with me reading 60 or 70 pages an hour. I have read a third of it almost. I have 191 pages left, meaning if I read 70 pages an hour, I could get this one read in another 3 hours, I think. So I guess that's the goal then. In less than 3 hours, I should be able to finish this one then. That would be good. I'm gonna make my coffee now and do something else, but then I'll get back into reading.
Each led like sheep, step foot to sea, drowning oh so patiently. Sand people sit and wait anxiously. Lay me down by the beach with my sand people. Lay me down by the beach with my sand people.
Hi, I'm back again. I'm more than halfway through If I Had Your Face. I have like less than 100 pages of it left. So I think that's pretty good actually. And there's exactly 2 hours left of the readathon. So I do think I can pull this off. I'm super excited about it. How cool would that be that I basically started a book today and I will finish it today. And I also read another like 200 pages or even more yesterday. This is cool. This makes me happy. The book now, I'm starting to understand it a bit more. It's not really like a plot throughout it. It's more like that we're following these 4 women and like the people around them. They're just at different stages in their lives. More feminist Korean literature basically, which is always cool. I've also been a bit productive actually. I put in 2 loads of laundry and I have made the dishes and I got myself a lunch. And now I'm having some ice cream because why not? I feel like I'm doing pretty alright. I've tried to join in on different reading sprints as well. Having like a set time for when to read is quite nice. I think I can do this. I really think I can. So I need to get back to reading now actually. I did it. I just finished reading If I Had Your Face. I think it's like 20 minutes left of my 24-hour readathon. I will have to try and sum up how many pages I read and all of that. That would be really fun to know. What are my thoughts about it? I'm not sure. I'm a bit torn about this. I really enjoyed the idea of this book, that we have 4 different women that in some way have a connection or a friendship, but it's not perhaps so obvious how, and also to see them go through their lives. I did enjoy having these 4 different stories. We have a woman who's trying to get pregnant and is struggling with that. We have a woman who is in a relationship with a very wealthy man and is sort of trying to figure that out. We have a woman who is working at a room salon. We also have a woman who is a fangirl of like a boy band member and works as a hairstylist. But like we have 4 very different women. Like I didn't mind this book. There's nothing about this book I really disliked, but it's just, for me, in some ways it lacked depth. I wanted things to go deeper. It felt like a lot of it was just very much on the surface level, which I don't think is the intention with this book, and that's why it's bugging me a bit. I feel like this book is one of those books that are meant to try and make you think. It's meant to like share another side of the world and another side of Korea and stuff like that. But for me, it just didn't go deep enough. It was too shallow. And once again, I don't think that's the intention of the book. And I do think that many people would find this one to be quite deep. I prefer when we reach the bottom of things and like we get to know people more. We never really got that, I feel like. Perhaps it's because the book is too short. Perhaps it is because there's too many characters. If this book had focused on 3 women instead of 4, that might have been different. The ending is extremely open. Nothing is really resolved. We have these events happening in the book and there's like the build up for them, but then we don't know how it ended or how things will go. And it's not that the book felt rushed, that it didn't have time to solve it. It did not feel rushed. I just feel like the intent of this book is to not give that away. Usually I'm fine with like open endings in TV shows and stuff, but this was just too open. You're thrown into these women's stories right in the middle of their lives, and then you're taken out of it. There's no real start, middle, or end in the book. It's all just kind of the same flat thing. I am glad I read it. I will keep it. I think this copy is stunning. I think this will be a 3-star for me. Like a solid 3-star. Like once again, I enjoyed it. I really had no issues with it. 24 hours, 2 books, 1 audiobook. Pretty cool. Hi. So I just thought that I would check in and do like a quick wrap up of how my 24-hour readathon went. I had an amazing time actually with the 24-hour readathon. It was a bit stressful, I will admit, but it was so much fun to challenge myself. It was so much fun to host a reading sprint. Like that went above and beyond all of my expectations. I did not expect people to attend, honestly. Like I am so sincere about this. Also just, it was fun to dedicate myself to reading again. I basically haven't read since, but it makes me feel better about my month now because now I've suddenly read a bunch of books and I don't need to feel stressed about my reading. It would be fun to keep this concept of doing like a 24-hour readathon a month. We'll simply have to see if my future schedule will allow that. I had the best time honestly doing it, and I would love to do it sometime again in the future and possibly make this a regular thing. Okay, let's sum up. How did it go? Well, in total I finished 3 books and I read over 600 pages. I think to be exact, I read 624 pages. I don't think I have ever read that much in a 24-hour readathon before. I think my maximum is around 500 pages. So that in itself is so cool and I'm so happy about it. The first book I read and finished was Malibu Rising by Jenkins, and I read this during the first day of my 24-hour readathon. So once I finished work, I started reading it and I finished it during that Friday as well. It was a good time. I enjoyed it. I ended up giving it 4 stars. The next book I read was Dearly by Margaret Atwood. And this one I listened to as an audiobook. And this is like, I guess, her poetry book or something. Only reason why I listened to this one is because it won the Goodreads Choice Awards for poetry last year. To be honest, I didn't get into it. It might very well be me and the fact that I didn't pay that much attention when I listened to this one because I was cleaning and I was doing other things. I was trying to multitask. So I didn't pay that much attention when listening to the book. I didn't even want to rate this because I know nothing about poetry. I very rarely read poetry. I knew that I hadn't really put in the effort to try and understand the book, so I didn't feel like I were qualified enough to rate the book. I quickly changed my mind and ended up giving it 2 stars. This might be entirely on me, but I do feel like if I read poetry, I want to feel something at least. If I'm not paying attention, I want the poetry to grab my attention. And that didn't happen. And then the third and final book I read after a lot of consideration and debating which book I should read, I decided to go for If I Had Your Face by Frances Cha, and I read this one in like 6 hours. So this is a really interesting story. I think I talked a lot about it, but it was an enjoyable read, and it's definitely a book I felt like I could read and try to understand within such a short amount of time. And I'm very happy I got to it because I've been meaning to get to this for a while, and now I finished it in a day, which is incredible. I did enjoy this one. It didn't really grab me in like the way I had hoped for it to do, but I ended up giving this one 3 stars, and I do think that's quite a solid grade actually. And that's sort of it, I guess. 3 books in 24 hours. I basically doubled my monthly reads for September, which is so awesome. I just had the best time, honestly. Like chilling out, doing me, having a cake while hosting the reading sprints, deciding that now I'm gonna sit down for an hour and just read. It was such a good time. I really enjoyed this and I hope to do it soon in the future again. Perhaps the next time I'll do this, I'll be in my new place, so that is very exciting. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please take care and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye!